Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to race 2 of the 2005 season. Brings us to Rockingham. Now, today's going to be a little different than years past. This will be the only race we will race at Rockingham this year. Auto Club in California, they're getting a second date, replacing Rockingham. So this will be the only time we'll be down at the Rock this season. As you see down there, we got Ryan Newman on pole. And yes, it is a Penske 1-2. Now we do have some late breaking stories. See 99 laps here today. A little chilly, 56 degrees. As we take a look at the happy hour here, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, really quick. We'll show you a little bit of why. Practice here. Jeff Gordon up front. Sterling Marlin looks really strong here this weekend. Biffle. We will talk about him as well later. Um, let's see if there's. Okay. And then, yeah, see what your favorite driver or favorite number may have practiced. Kind of surprising to see Robbie Gordon down here. They must have made a really good change overnight. Bobby Labonte, not good to see him down there. About half a second splits the field. Here's qualifying, 24.5. You can see where your favorite driver is starting this afternoon. All the way down to Kyle Petty. As you see, Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Bill Elliott starting from the rear. Now you may be wondering yourself, what happened? Where's their times at? Well, they were caught cheating. Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Bill Elliott all had chassis infractions. Last week, NASCAR got a little suspicious during tech. This week, before like the drivers' meeting going into practice, they sent out emails all week and they dropped the hammer. They said, "We will not be tolerating this. There is a rule book for a reason. There will be no such thing as gray areas." They announced that they will be upping tech this week, and right off the bat, already four drivers caught. Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Bill Elliott. Like we said, I mean, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, top of the charts. I don't think that's any coincidence, but they will have to start from the rear. Kurt Busch as well. Now we talked about Greg Biffle, 16th in happy hour. He's actually starting 11th today, starting third in practice. He had a major infraction, so he's going to get a black flag on lap one, and he's going to have to serve it, and likely going to go a lap down. And we'll have to see if he can scratch and claw his way up towards the front. So we're going to transition to the weekly recap. Uh, Friday's winner went to John Wood and Roush. As you see that pretty big lead over Ted Musgrave. Ted Musgrave did dominate the truck race. He fell off towards the end, giving John Wood the win. And Ron Hornaday ended up winning the Busch Series. That race, again, was dominated by a different driver. That driver was Ricky Craven. But Robbie Gordon lost his brakes off at 2, got ran over by the 39, up into the wall. J.J. Yaley, tons of damage, big hits. Um, yeah, but Ron Hornaday did end up winning that race. That is back-to-back Busch Series wins for RCR and back-to-back truck wins for John Wood and Roush. And then here we go. So the top row, you can see Rusty Wallace, and then this was the qualifying times to get into the race. Ken Trader, Mike Skinner failed to qualify um, for this race. Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Bill Elliott were caught cheating, and Greg Biffle also got caught cheating. Um, NASCAR is a little inconsistent with the rules. They wanted to disallow Greg Biffle's time to start him from the back. I think next week that's what will happen going forward. They were just a little bit behind, and you can't really black flag somebody when they're out of the track. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and send it down trackside, and we'll see what this race weekend brings.
Drivers, to your cars.
There's the drivers being called to their cars. The fans are excited. You hear them roaring and cheering. But yeah, let's see if there's any favorites. I mean, Ryan Newman, probably one of the hottest cars and one of the hottest drivers in NASCAR right now. Back-to-back Daytona 500 wins, last two seasons. He probably will be a championship contender this season. Jeff Burton, we always know he's going to be fast. Um, Casey Kane there in that brand new 5 car. We'll have to see what he can do. Jimmy Johnson, Bobby Labonte's an interesting one. We'll have to see. We know in practice he wasn't exactly strong. And then Matt Kenseth, Ward Burton starting 8th in his newer Cup ride. Elliott Sadler there, Mark Martin. A lot of cool different paint schemes here. See where your favorite drivers start today. We'll go through the more in-depth starting lineup later. But yeah, I'm excited. This one we got 99 laps here today. But yeah, let's send it down trackside to get the command to fire these engines. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in this week. Let's get these engines fired, shall we?
Drivers, start your engines.
There are the engines. They come to life here. Ryan Newman, Robbie Gordon will be on your front row. It's a Penske front row lockout. Row 2, Jeff Burton to his inside will be Casey Kane. And it looks like Ryan Newman's not wanting to go. Yeah, Ryan Newman's not going. Casey Kane is pushing him. There's smoke coming out of the back end of the 12. There's smoke coming out of the back end of your pulse hitter. This is going to completely ruin the starting lineup for me, and also these guys are... It's chaos back here, right? You only get one pace lap to get caught up. This is probably going to draw a few black flags. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's still 3, nearly 4 wide back here. They're starting to get it figured out now. But your pulse hitter, Ryan Newman, has got an issue, and the 92 ran something over. I believe he's got a tire down on the apron. What a crazy start. There's Newman there. That's probably race over. Meanwhile, pace car's on pit road. And we are green from Rockingham with Casey Kane in the lead. Well, so much for that Penske front row. These guys back here, they really got messed up. But meanwhile, Casey Kane's coming through 3 and 4. There's so much to unpack. Yeah, he will lead lap 1. Hopefully no one else got any black flags other than just Greg Biffle. Doesn't look like it. Kyle Petty, I think, got a black flag for being out of position. Now there are 3 wide in the back. But Casey Kane will continue to lead. Now here comes Matt Kenseth. He's going to be a championship contender. Man, we were just talking about how Ryan Newman could be a championship contender this season. And goes to fire the engine, and it immediately blows up. So Matt Kenseth will now grab the lead. Probably expect him to lead a lot of laps this afternoon. That 17 car is going to be fast. Him and his crew chiefs got that car dialed in. Bobby Labonte's up to second. Sadler's going for third here, and that 38 combos forward. There goes Jeff Burton's looking to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. Matt Kenseth beginning to pull away. Here's your last year's Rockingham winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He stretched the field longer than anybody even imagined. Was the only car to stretch it and was able to make it on gas. So there's your last year's Rookie of the Year winner and champion, Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon's has fallen back to 9th now. Kevin Harvick sitting top 10. Joe Nemechek will be behind the 84. Will be in the 84 this week, sitting 11th. Casey Atwood, Kenny Wallace, Coy Gibbs for Joe Gibbs Racing, running pretty well. Ward Burton, there's Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Jeremy Mayfield, Jerry Nadeau, Martin Truex Jr. will be in the 1 this week. Ran pretty well in the Busch Series. Dale Jarrett, there's Ron Hornaday. Remember, he won the Busch Series race. Jack Sprague in the 10. Scott Riggs is looking to the inside. Tony Stewart's looking a bit off. We'll have to see how he can do. This is kind of my abbreviated starting lineup. There's Travis Kvapil getting passed by Bill Elliott. There's Jeff Gord looking for a way around. There's rookie Carl Edwards. Jeff Green looking to the inside of him is Dave Blaney. There's John Andretti. Casey Mears. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Sterling Marlin, a couple Chip Ganassi cars back here struggling a bit. Jeff Gordon's trying to find a way around Kvapil, unable to this time. There's Kurt Busch, Michael Waltrip, Kyle Petty. There's Buckshot Jones, Greg Biffle. And we're back to your leader, Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth will lead lap 8, the 43, the 92, the 16 We're all down one lap, and of course the 12 is out of this race with the expired engine. Bobby Labonte's running a little quicker right now than Matt Kenseth. This time by will be 90 laps to go. I'm assuming these guys can make it around 38 laps on gas, I think. So it might be a two-stopper. I mean, we'll have to see with cautions and if everything else works out that way. But Kenseth pulls back away. Jeff Burton's looking for second now. Or third, excuse me, not second. Case Kane drops back. Sadler right there. And Brian Vickers running well. Trying to catch up to Sadler and possibly look for a way to get around Sadler. There's Buckshot Jones. Kyle Petty's in the free pass position. Greg Biffle's the fastest of the three free pass position cars. Yeah, we can get used to this 17 car leading laps here this season. That he's got that thing hooked up. But don't completely pencil him in as the race winner. Remember, all the other races this week was dominated by a driver, and something happened to where the second or even third best car won that race. So in the truck series, I think John Wood was probably the third best car, probably the second. And then Ron Hornaday was probably third or fourth best car, but with that wreck, it took out Mike Bliss, J.J. Yaley, um, Ricky Craven, and others. As Greg Biffle did get around Buckshot Jones, there's Kyle Petty there. At 41 cars, struggling this week horribly. Look at a flyby, everybody, going down this backstretch. Pretty single-filed out. Further back you go, more Hornet's Nest like it is. You'd probably expect... Whoops. Probably expect Bill Elliott and Jeff Gordon to work their way up through the field together. As Jeff Burton is really closing in on Bobby Labonte's. The 38 has an issue on the apron. That is slow down Vickers, Johnson, and Jr. I don't see any smoke coming out of the rear of that car. Ooh, Dave Blaney and Scott Riggs make contact. They're 4 wide right here. Sadler is able to get it on the apron. He's saying it's like it's out of gas. These guys, look at this. Crazy 3 and nearly 4 wide. These guys come up off the corner here. So we'll kind of get backed up through. Let's go see what happened here. These 3 are going to be on the bottom. Right there, it's like the car just shut off. Casey Kane, Kevin Harvick, Casey Gatwood, the 84, possibly even Mark Martin. Maybe not quite Mark Martin or Joe Nemechek were able to get around these guys, but that's a free pass for Harvick, Casey Atwood, and Casey Kane. A couple of Caseys here battling for fourth, as Jeff Burton did get around Bobby Labonte off of 2 this time. And Greg Biffle did get around Kyle Petty. There's Sadler getting worked on in that car. Now, that's a shame. He was running top 5. It's a shame for that 38. He was having such a good run. Yeah, the fastest car still on track is Matt Kenseth. 19 laps down. This time by will be 79 laps to go. Sadler's back on track. 3 laps down. 33's got an issue we're hearing. Not sure where he is at. Did he make it to pit road okay? He did, yeah. Blew an engine. Another engine gone. There's Jeff Gordon. Working his way up to... looks like 18th right here. 24 car looks pretty quick. Starting to separate himself from Bill Elliott a little. Meanwhile, back out front, Matt Kenseth, Sadler's trying to stay only 3 laps down. It's a shame for Ricky Travis Quapple. He needs every lap in this Cup car. This Cup car is a little tougher than what he's used to. And the Busch car in the other lower series, he's going to need every lap, every ounce of experience he can get. There's Casey Atwood trying to get around Casey Kane. Looking to the inside here. Is he going to make a move? Casey's looking to defend for now. He does just that. There's Brian Vickers. Just outside the top 5. Kevin Harvick. Jimmy Johnson's looking to the inside now of Harvick. Mark Martin's looking for a way around. Unable to this time by. Atwood's looking back to the inside of Kane. Brian Vickers is closing in a little bit. Yeah, Jeff Burton has pulled away from Bobby Labonte. And Matt Kenseth's still about 2/10 quicker. Casey Atwood's able to defend from Vickers there on the outside. Here comes Johnson. He's looking to maybe look around the outside of Vickers here, looking for 6th. Unable to do anything there. Casey Atwood got a runoff 2, looking to the inside of Kane in 3. The outside line right there, you're able just to kind of carry some more momentum. That's going to give Atwood a bad exit. Vickers and Johnson looking to pounce. Mark Martin's looking to the inside. All these guys are aggressive, looking to try and get around each other. There goes Mark Martin. Clear of the 48. He's looking to clear Vickers here. How aggressive does he get into 3 and 4? He's clear for now, just unable to really finish the corner. But he's got him right there. 2 for 1 deal on lap 28 or 27 for Mark Martin. Now he set his sights on there, Casey Atwood. We got Joe Nemechek trying to hold off top 10 from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Robbie Gordon sitting 12th pretty comfortably. There's Mayfield, Stewart, and Gordon are starting to elevate their way up. What a pass there from Tony Stewart. Here comes Gordon looking up the inside. Out of the 3 guys who lost their qualifying attempt, seems to be the fastest, because here's Kurt Busch there and Bill Elliott, but they're still working their way up. Nothing to sneeze at. There's Biffle up to 37th. So he is still 1 lap down. But he is in the free pass position, so if a yellow were to come out... There is the last car in the lead lap, Jack Sprague. And you got 2 cars there, and then your leader, Matt Kenseth, has a near 3-second lead over his teammate. Super fast race car. for this 17 car this week, and then really the top three have separated themselves from kind of the rest of everybody else. There goes Atwood back to the inside of Casey Kane, unable to do anything there once again. As Mark Martin's looking for fifth here, but Vickers and Johnson are also looking to take advantage of something here. Oh, Mark Martin right there. I'm not sure if the car got tight, but he was unable to really finish the corner. Trying to get around the outside of Atwood for that top 5 spot. Let's go on board Casey Atwood here. Casey Atwood's able to put a couple laps together right there, a couple corners, and he's able to pull away from Vickers as he's closing back in there on Casey Kane. Like he's got a nice little run here. Looks to the inside. Kane's got to give him room. Casey Atwood's caught in a Hendrick Motorsports sandwich right there. They all got to run on each other. Vickers is gonna make a move. Casey Atwood defends, and he's gonna make a move on Casey Kane. Casey Kane's gonna defend way up top. The way these tires are wearing, I don't know if that top lane's got much more grip. I think the bottom is where you're gonna want to be. Now Casey Kane is getting passed by Brian Vickers even. And Atwood's up to 4th, Vickers into 5th. Mark Martin's looking to get a 6th on Casey Kane even. Kane's got to get off that top. He's able to get down now. There's Bobby Labonte. Matt Kenseth is now into lap traffic, putting the 43 car 2 laps down. With the 43 car, there was confusion on the start and got a black flag there, had to serve it. Yeah, pit stop should be around the corner here, any lap almost. And then once pit stop's complete, Kenseth should be in lap traffic. I mean, he's kind of already in lap traffic, but he'll be deep into lap traffic once that cycles around. 92 car. I think he had a tire down on the start there. He's going to go possibly 2 laps down here. Greg Biffle slicing and dicing his way through. He'd be sitting 24th right now if he was on the lead lap, but he's 1 lap down. He's going to have to really do some catching up here if he's going to be the first car 1 lap down. As Jeff Gordon's, his progress is up to 14th. There's Robbie Gordon pulling to the pit. A lot of pit stops this time by. Johnson, Mark Martin, Vickers battling it out. Something wrong with the 92. The 92's got another tire down. He can't turn. He's all over the place right there. There's your leader, Matt Kenseth, on pit road. I don't believe he got to the lead until like lap 3 or 4, but he's trying to put his bid in to lead the most laps to get that extra bonus point. There goes Casey Atwood. The fall off at this place is pretty spectacular. So imagine everyone who pits this first lap is going to get a pretty big advantage. Tony Stewart's working his way up well. There's Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane. Casey Atwood's ahead of Casey Kane. There's Greg Biffle. He cycled the 28th, but I don't believe he's pitted yet. And you can see just the closing rate from Casey Atwood. There's Jeff Gordon. Matt Kenseth out and away. There's Bobby Labonte. I believe he's short pitted. This might give Bobby the lead. But now we are deep into lap traffic. There's John Andretti, Elliott Sadler. Jeff Burton will be your new leader here. Excuse me, I don't even know what's going on. It's now Martin Truex Jr. will be the final car on the lead lap. You can definitely tell these guys are on fresh tires. They were crawling around here not too long ago. Now they are absolutely whipping. And these guys should be about 1 pit stop away. They probably can get away with 2 if a yellow comes out timely. A lot of these guys are putting in their fastest laps of the race right here. Now Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth right there, all caught up right here. Yeah, they're stuck behind Sadler. He's on older tires. Kenseth's going to make a move to the inside. Bobby Labonte's going to go up. He's going to clear and get around. This is crucial for Kenseth. He is probably he's got the fastest car, but he's going to have to get around this lap traffic. Casey Atwood cycled to 4th. Casey Kane back to 5th. Kevin Harvick 6th. Joe Nemechek 7th. Earnhardt Jr.'s 8th. Vickers 9th. Coy Gibbs, the rookie, running 10th. Not bad. Mark Martin's 11th. Tony Stewart up to 12th. Johnson back to 13th. He did not have a good cycle. There's Jeff Gordon 14th. Kurt Busch up to 16th. What a cycle for him. Ron Hornaday's in 20th. We're back to our leader now. Jeff Burton's looking to the outside of Martin Truex Jr. here. Michael Waltrip's looking to the inside of Jeff Burton now. Yeah, these guys are fighting desperately right here. I do believe Jeff Burton did short pit, so his tires are going to fall off before all these guys and their tires do. So Ward Burton's going to be able to get around. Scott Riggs is looking for a way around. Jeff Green's going to have to hustle. There's Greg Biffle. He pitted. He is now 2 laps down. He's got to get around his teammate. Yeah, these kinds of days right here, this is kind of why you don't want to cheat. I mean, his car is fast, don't get me wrong, but if you do get caught, I mean, the risk is almost not worth the reward. Now, right there, I mean, just, you see the gap. Bobby Labonte is way up here. And then there is Matt Kenseth. And then all the way up here is your leader, Jeff Burton. But they are bringing that gap down significantly. Jeff Burton's already about a half a second off. But, I mean, if the timing works and if we don't get a yellow this race, and the timing works out, I mean, I think Jeff Burton could easily win yet another race. There's Dave Blaney. Greg Biffle's going to have to work super hard to try and get around his teammate here. Is Jeff Green's able to get around successfully to bring himself back onto the lead lap. Momentarily, Jeff Burton's able to get around the outside. As Casey Kane's able to get around. Not sure what happened to Casey Atwood. Not sure if they're losing the handle on that car. Jeff Gordon's up to 10th now. Not sure if they're losing the handle on that car, but he has dropped to 7th. As Mark Martin's in 8th. Last time by. He's up to 7th now, going for 6th. Casey Kane might be catching up to Matt Kenseth here. There's Scott Riggs. Yeah, if you're Greg Biffle, how hard are you pushing? These guys are 3 wide up here. Look at this mess. Sadler right here on older tires, checking up Nemechek and Kurt Busch. That's going to kill their momentum and run. And that might put them a lap down here because here comes the leader. Oh, Jeff Green got tagged by Jeff Burton. Way up the hill, the 0 goes. Jeff Burton, Scott Riggs, they're going to be 3 wide right here. That's because of the 38, and they're unable to get any kind of run because Sadler's down there. And I think that's just because he's on older tires. And all that progress Greg Biffle made up just down and out the window. Now these guys are nearly 3 wide again. Scott Riggs not trying to tear up that 39 car. Being very timid with the 38. I believe he's going to look to make a run here. Not quite. Now, Bobby Labonte's now stuck in this line. He's got to get out of this line before Matt Kenseth gets there. He's going to look to the inside of Blaney. Does he dive to the inside of the 39? He does. Riggs gives him room. Blaney says thank you, and away I go. Right there, you see Matt Kenseth, and even back right there is Casey Kane. Kenseth's going to go around the outside. And Bobby's just pinned, stuck on the bottom. And we got a pass for second. There's Jack Sprague, Kyle Petty. And Bobby Labonte just cannot get off this bottom. He's looking up right now. Will he get there? He cannot. Casey Kane's going to roll around the outside now. And now he's got third on Bobby. Man, that is super unfortunate for Bobby Labonte. Greg Biffle's caught back up to his teammate. Looking to put himself back 1 lap down. So he's looking to try and go around the outside. Unable to find the grip. Might get a little run off the corner. I believe it was 40 to go this time by, so the pit window is open. Ward Burton, Joe Nemechek, these guys are fighting hard back here. There's Robbie Gordon looking to the inside of Rusty Wallace. See where your favorite drivers cycled to. See where they're running. Gordon's up to 9th, looking for 8th on Harvick. Now Johnson's stuck behind Elliott Sadler. I don't know if Johnson gave him a little bumper right there to get him up and out of the way, but Harvick's the big loser in that exchange. And Jeff Gordon says, thank you very much. Let me just sneak on through here. He's up to 8th, looking for 7th. Now Bobby Labonte's under fire from 4th from Vickers. As Greg Biffle did get around, but as these guys catch Greg Biffle once again, or Elliott Sadler once again, there's Rusty Wallace way up top the hill. Dead lift enough. There's Greg Biffle sitting 37th. If he wants to get 36, he's at the start-finish line now. Sprague is going into 3 and 4, so he's going to have to do a lot more catching. Unfortunately, there for Biffle. But I will have to see. We're about 2/3 through this race now. Doing a pretty good job right now managing traffic and trying to work his way and slice his way through this field. Jeff Burton's handling his tire fall off, and Casey Atwood's got a problem. Is that going to bring out the yellow? 38 pits. Casey Atwood, what happened to him? I think they said he had a tire go down. And the right rear was down. It was soft going into the corner. Somehow he did not wreck. And then just kind of parked it, tried to get out of Sadler's way, couldn't get back down, parked it on the apron. NASCAR was confident that he was able to get it off the racetrack. No yellow yet. I was kind of shocked there was no yellow. I guess he was out of the racing groove. Sadler nearly got into him. Now there's Joe Nemechek. To the outside is Kurt Busch. Robbie Gordon just in front. Coy Gibbs looking to try and get around Casey Mears. Right in front of them is Bill Elliott. He's trying to stay in front of Jeff Burton here. Is heavy lap traffic, 27.6 to a 27.3. So Kenseth is about 3/10 quicker. But I don't know if it's really that worth it. Now, one thing this does do, now Casey Atwood's going to be multiple laps down. He had taken so much time to limit back to the pits, but he can make it to the end. He's going to be 3 laps down. He's probably going to finish this race about 1 lap down. But, so it's not completely the end of the world, but he's probably out of contention for this win. Bobby Labonte's back to 6th now. Gordon's up to 7th. Tony Stewart's 10th. Kenny Wallace running really well in the 11th. There's rookie Carl Edwards. It'll be really interesting to see about when these guys decide to pit when the field window opens up. I mean, I don't expect these guys to pit for another 10 to 15 laps. But I think whoever gets to pit road first probably going to win this race. But whether it's Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth, possibly even Casey Kane, especially if they short pit 2 or 3 laps. I mean, as you can see, the fall off is nearly 3 seconds. If you get 3 seconds worth, or 3 laps, 3 seconds, that's 9 seconds. And you catch lap traffic the right way. I mean, Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, Jeff Gordon still has a chance to win this race. There goes Michael Waltrip looking to the inside of that's Robbie Gordon. Looks like those Penske cars, they are really struggling on the long run. Remember, Casey Atwood worked his way up on the short run, but drifted before his tire went flat. Unfortunately, Ryan Newman, we were unable to see what that 12 car was capable of after his engine expired on pit road. Jeff Burton's able to be just consistent enough to where he can keep all these cars between him and Kenseth, but Kenseth is catching 28.1 to 27.8. I mean, that's 3/10. There goes Atwood. There goes Sadler. He's zipping around the outside of Kenseth and Atwood. It'll be really interesting to see if anybody's going to short pit. The reason you don't exactly want to short pit is if a yellow comes out, you're going to be way behind, and we'll show you here real quick. We'll trying to see like a good angle here. And here, we'll do it down the back. I'll show you down the back. But there is this track is full of cars, and when you're trying to maneuver your way through traffic, it is not exactly easy. You see Elliott Sadler on fresh tires, zipped around the 17 pretty easily. Now he's caught in traffic. And if you're quicker, there's just not a lot of time to make up. I mean, there's a gap there between the 10 and the 32. But again, like once you catch your way up, there's just going to be traffic and traffic and traffic. After the 8, there's a pretty good gap. But then you're back to this nonsense and mess. There's Kenseth and Casey Kane? Nope, the 99's in pit road. We got pit stops. There's the 99 there, taking on right sides. They gotta put the left sides on it. Putting the left sides on it. Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth are in the pits. Vickers stays out. There goes Burton out and away. There's your new leader, Brian Vickers, followed by Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte. So here we go, execution. This is where it comes down to. Getting on and off pit road. The pit crew's got to do their job. Kevin Harvick's going to stay out here. There's Jeff Burton on fresh tires. Does Harvick get the lap led for the bonus point? He does, and just see the amount of grip. And right here, when you do short pit right here, when everybody else pits, you get all this clean track. There's Kenseth. There's Casey Kane. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. He pitted early. Looking around, trying to get around his rookie teammate, Casey Kane. It's going to be a drag race down into turn 3 here. This time by will be 22 laps to go. Just this congested pit road here. So yeah, Tony Stewart was able to jump all these guys. He might even get ahead of Brian Vickers just because of, you know, short pitting there, and he does. I believe Rusty Walls has damage on the rear of that 91. It looks a little short. It does. Meanwhile, back out front, there's Matt Kenseth. There's Coy Gibbs, Dale Earnhardt Jr. there, and Jeff Burton is running away with this. It'll be interesting to see the lead he's got here. 4.6 seconds. This time by will be 20 laps to go. So as long as he doesn't get super trapped behind somebody slow. There goes Greg Biffle's up to 13th, but now he's pitting. Just put Ron Hornaday a lap down. Yeah, just as long as he does not get trapped super close behind somebody for too long. I mean, Matt Kenseth, I think he is quicker. He will catch. But there is 1, 2, 3, 4 cars separate him and his teammate. We got a couple other teammates back here with Jimmy Johnson, Casey Kane. And then Brian Vickers hits 5th. Tony Stewart back in 6th. Bobby Labonte 7th. Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin. Top 10, Kenny Wallace had himself a great run. Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick back here. Sterling Marlin. Jeremy Mayfield, that's it for the lead lap cars. And you kind of feel bad. Where's Robbie Gordon sitting at? There he is right here. 26, the best running Penske driver. We talked about Penske locking out the front row. Casey Atwood running really, really good this race. And it just kind of all unraveled. They didn't really have the long run. This race went green pretty much the whole way. I mean, if we do get a yellow of some variety, you know, I guess that's one thing, but yeah, it's got to be really disappointing there for Penske to not even, they're probably not even going to finish on the lead lap. But there's Matt Kenseth right there, 25.3. I mean, 2/10 quicker right there than Kenseth. We'll have to see if Hornaday gives Burton any fits trying to get back on the lead lap. He's close. He's got to run. Does he make a move? He's going to look to the inside. Nothing doing so far. Casey Mears. Kenseth, I believe, needs to get around the 11 before the 97 gets around the 17. But is he willing to make that move? As he is chomping into the lead. But I do believe he needs to get around that 17 of Coy Gibbs. I'm not sure what happened if Kenseth got loose there. I mean, he still, I believe he took a 10th out of the lead. And 25-8. Not sure if he got tight or loose or lost a ton of grip off of 4. Maybe Kurt Busch got a loose pack in the air. This time by will be 14 laps to go. If Kenseth is going to catch his teammate, he's going to have to do something here. So he took another 3/10 there. Is it, look, maybe Coy Gibbs is a little quicker than Kenseth right now. There goes Kurt Busch looking around the outside of Kenseth. If Kurt Busch can get out of Kenseth, that's a point right there if he can pass Coy Gibbs. Dale Jr., last year's winner, looking to get around Casey Mears. See right there Sadler, but looks like he's able to get to the inside, which is good. Sadler right there, just off strategy. Just remember he had that issue. Greg Biffle's now 2 laps down, 37th. Greg Biffle's 37th, 2 laps down. Jeff Gordon's up to 7th, looking possibly 6th there on Labonte. And then the 10 car, Jack Sprague, just in front of the leaders there. Same thing with Atwood. Yeah, Casey is looking a little slower. That might hold up Jeff Burton just enough. But again, Kenseth's got to get through this lap traffic. Next time by will be just 10 laps to go. Kurt Busch is looking to the inside of Kenseth, looking to the outside, back to the inside. Ooh, Kenseth's going to get held up by Sadler right here. Oh, that's not what Kenseth needs. They're about even right there. Kenseth is stuck behind Sadler, looking for a way around. Jeff Burton is doing exactly what Jeff Burton needs to do. Kenseth is stuck behind Sadler. He's got to find a way around. He's going to dive to the inside. They're able to get around there. Dale Jarrett's going to get around his teammate. 6 cars now separate the 2 leaders, and Jeff Burton is loving that as he pulled out a big chunk of lead. 4.1. As there goes Kurt Busch looking to the inside of Coy Gibbs. Matt Kenseth did close another 10th. We're getting reports the 31 had an engine issue. Ward Burton there. Got it down to pit road. He's having a tough day. Ooh, right in front of the 4. As Kenseth is having more issues with lap traffic. Stuck behind the 77 now. Just can't find his way through traffic. He's going to force his way down to the inside, right in front of Bill Elliott. There goes Casey Atwood backing up McMurray. Casey Kane's having himself a great day for that rookie. Jimmy Johnson there, Rob Gordon. Vickers running 5th. Tony Stewart's back to 9th. Kevin Harvick 10th. Carl Edwards 11th. Kenny Wallace lost a couple spots there to Marlin. There's Mayfield still sitting 14th, and Ron Hornaday sitting 15th. As he has opened up to over almost a 5.5 second lead over Kenseth. I think Kenseth's shot to win is pretty much done. All Jeff Burton has to do is complete 4 more laps here, and he will be a winner of the Rockingham race here in 2005. A great drive from Burton, a great call, strategy call. Yeah, great run for Roush in general. Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, rookie, sitting 11th. Obviously, the 16 got caught cheating. He's going to finish a lap down. He'll be disappointed. Mark Martin, though, in 8th. And then they're going to take up the top 2 spots. Yeah, even Kurt Busch, though, still 16th. That's not too shabby. And then, pretty consistent there for Hendrick. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. As Gordon's able to get up to 6th right there. Now he's 2 seconds behind his teammate. The only one they're missing is the 84 of Nemechek. Not sure where Nemechek went. Oh, he's down there in 26th. But Ron Hornaday's looking to the inside of the 99. Kurt Busch right here, looking to try to get Hornaday. That's a spot in the points if he can get it. Jeff Burton right there doesn't seem to be getting up too big of a fight to the 07 or the 97. But off of turn 4, the white flag is out one more time around for Burton. Through 1 and 2, one final time. He's going to let Dale Jr. go through as well. Kurt Busch and Hornaday Jr., they're going to have one extra lap to battle. He's going to open up the inside possibly for Coy Gibbs. But good thing that's not for a spot, as Jeff Burton's going to win, career win number 25, and he wins at Rockingham. Casey Kane, Jeff Burton were on pit road there. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe they didn't get the cars full enough. Yeah, Matt Kenseth had to pit too. Mark Martin's going to finish 2nd. What the heck just happened? Jeff Gordon 18th. Bobby Labonte 3rd. Jimmy Johnson 4th. Kenseth gets 5th. Yeah, they ran out of gas. We're going to have to take a look at these results here. Carl Edwards finished 8th. Kenny Wallace top 10. But yeah, Case Kane, Vickers, Jeff Gordon, they all ran out of fuel. But yeah, congratulations, Jeff Burton. Roush did end up finishing top 2, but instead of Kenseth, it was Mark Martin. Kenseth finished 5th. Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, RCR, Roush, Chip Ganassi with Marlin up in there. Yeah, Greg Biffle 34th. Down here, Ryan Newman, pretty frustrating day. But we'll update the points for race 2, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, these are the updated point standings. We got Jeff Burton up top with a 14-point lead over Johnson, 19-point lead over Tony Stewart. Mayfield having a great start. There's Carl Edwards sitting top 5. Kenseth sitting 2nd, 2 starts, sitting 9th with 40 laps led, 63 laps led, going to Jeff Burton there. Nothing too crazy to dig too deep into this. Obviously, Greg Biffle having a slow start. Jeff Gordon right there. But yeah, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have to see what next week brings. I believe we're up to Vegas. So yeah, well, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week.